Torrance High School. Man, that was a lot of years ago. To my fellow classmates of the class of 1973, let me help you remember just how long ago that was. Gasoline was 40 cents a gallon. Today, that's just the tax. It was the year Kiss played their first concert at the World Trade Center, became the tallest building in the world. The Bahamas gained their independence from Britain. Suddenly, the number one song in England was Yes, We Have No Bahamas. I just threw that in to make sure you're still listening. You may also remember the big tennis tournament that was held that year, 1973, the so-called Battle of the Sexes between Bobby Riggs and Mrs. Billie Jean King, who became the ex-Mrs. Billie Jean King, but now, thanks to a recent Supreme Court ruling, can once again become a Mrs. something or Mr. If you remember that, you also remember it was the year Dr. Hook sang about wanting to be in the cover of the Rolling Stone. It almost happened until they found out he was a terrorist. And just a couple of weeks before we put on the caps and gowns and hit grad night at Disneyland, NBC aired the final episode of Rowan and Martin's Laughing.
Lisa, gotcha.
Seen a movie? Gotcha.
At home, whenever I want to go back to those days, I can always dig out my yearbook and read some of the cool things you wrote for me. Remember running around getting people and teachers to sign your yearbook and then wandering off and seeing what they wrote? I remember wanting to find Mr. Hulse and get him to sign my book. I took it in the classroom, he signed it. I couldn't wait to read those wise words, to see what inspirational message he was going to give me as I headed out the door at Torrance High. Well, Deborah Ishibashi signed my yearbook and kept signing until she ran out of ink and had to switch pens. Into another page. I think she threw in a couple of recipes. Man, 1973 to 2013, 40 years. How long is 40 years? Well, these people were all born the year we graduated. Jim Parsons, Adrian Brody, Jorge Garcia, Tori Spelling, Neil Patrick Harris, Heidi Klum, I downloaded a couple of extra pictures just to make sure I got good ones. There we go. Now, while our class didn't generate anybody famous, over the years Torrance High School has, like Louis Zamperini, baseball catcher Jason Kendall. Okay, I have an almost famous for you. Remember Adrian Miller in our class played a mean trumpet? He had a younger brother named Brian who played the drums and who went on to be in the CBS Orchestra, where he met Carol Burnett and married her. All right, it was a bit of a stretch, but I thought it was cool. So how has Torrance High been since we left? I had heard things had kind of gone downhill, but I was wrong. They've been doing some pretty cool things there. Even Hollywood has moved in. They have a studio storage area in the back of the school in case they need to shoot some scenes. Torrance High has appeared in quite a few TV shows and movies. So, the school has changed. We've all changed. Things are just different. Today, when we hear the word Flash, this is what comes to mind. But back in 1973, this was Flash. People think Dexter is a new idea. Hey, we had our own Dexter. Okay, this reunion isn't about what's up on a stage or a screen. It's happening at your table, during the conversations, the hugs, the laughs that we're sharing tonight. So as I wrap this up, I'd like to offer a brief poem I wrote to commemorate our 40th reunion for the Torrance High class of 1973. This is for you. Some 40 years ago, we said goodbye to 4 long years at Torrance High. We went our separate ways, each with our own life plan, and now we gather here tonight, remembering what we can. Yet one thing has remained unchanged, so much like Jimmy Carter. In spite of all that's happened, I'm still proud to be a Tartar. In college, I did strange things, like that time I wore a garter, but even when my nylons ran, I was proud to be a Tartar. Greg Lucas once ate a lot of beans and turned into a farter. And even though I couldn't breathe, I was glad to be a tartar. To make this fancy video, we asked for money on Kickstarter. And while no one pledged a penny, I was still glad to be a tartar. My 401k was all in Enron. I wish I had been smarter. And even though I'll retire at 92, I'll be proud to be a tartar. So many years have come and gone, some easy, some were harder. But what's still all true of everyone, we're still proud to be a tartar. Thank you, Tank. Or is it Tank you think? Huh, I'll have to look that up.